Hello guys, Shopper came back and wanted to get started on the video. Death Stranding 2 was announced only a few days ago at the Game Awards, in which I never understood why people take the Game Awards seriously. There was a joke back. It wasn't a joke, but no one cared about it, but now it's just a serious thing. So I'm not saying why. Give me your previous opinions on the game. Why talk about it now? Why build any type of excitement or throw any theories? I didn't get a chance to say anything about the first game when it was coming out, but in this case, I can't say why. I don't know why. I don't know what compels me to make this video. Why I have any interest in the game after I had the first one turned out? Is it because the last few moments of the game, or I don't know. I can't tell you what drives me. But let's get straight into this. We see the PlayStation Studios logo. The exclusives reign supreme. But off the bat, we see this dolphin toy. This is obviously made for a child. That's made for we're gonna see here in a moment. But I've always been recently like a lot of dolphin and whale type symbology. Eventually, an orca will show up. But what's the point of symbolism? I can't give you an answer. Similar to MGS, what was the point of the whale? Well, you name Ahab. There was some light stuff, but an entire whale ate a helicopter. Are we going to explain that? Like Vogan set an entire horse on fire. That's sweeping the rug. But go on to the next part. As you see these dolphin toy stops. See the blocks where you put the shapes into it. I remember those toys from the good old daycare days. And you even see on the wall. Though over time that Fragile and the gang, or just Fragile, on which we get to the whole Blue and Fragile thing. That she's marking the progress of how tall Blue is, which could mean she could stand up. It's pretty hard to stand up a baby that can't walk yet. So maybe Blue can stand up. Because it does look like Blue, from what we've seen in the trailers, like roughly in between that 5 to 9 month to like a year and a half type frame. Like if you haven't seen, we haven't seen her have the capability to walk, but she sure can crawl by now. Should be able to. And then we see this effigy, this symbol of Evelyn, or the president slash her daughter slash wherever you want to throw in that in the whole first game. I can't remember how you pronounce her name, but apparently it's seemingly some cult has a formed around this woman on which, if Cliff is dead, and besides from those guys with weapons that we took on, who is continuing this? Because after Cliff died, we never saw those guys again, as far as I can recall, at all after that point. So, in which I can't. Wait. I have the footage. I have that footage. The whole encounter with Cliff. And I gotta make sure to remember what happened to him exactly. I know Fragile didn't kill him, and I forgot exactly why she didn't kill him. I know she wasn't doing to finish the job. But I gotta make sure if like he killed himself or what exactly happened. I'll have to tackle another time. I'm sorry about that. But it's just, I swear, I forgot exactly what happened to Cliff. But I don't recall Fragile killing him. I just don't. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know for a fact she didn't kill him. As far as I can remember. I swear he like shot himself or something. But the carrying this effigy of Evelyn, which I'm gonna call, I can't remember her actual name, but you know, the president slash the calamity slash everything else inside the first game. The clan like a symbol of her throughout what seemed to be a sandstorm. And they're carrying some type of coffin, or I can't say incubator, kind of like a coffin or like a cocoon, or it looks similar to that thing Adam Warlock is in. And everybody's dressed in red, and some of them got the arm that it's on the staff. It's on the staff. So that whole symbol of Evelyn's on the staff, and that whole arm thing we use to detect BTs is holding it up as they hold the coffin, on which, like I said earlier, like who's continuing this cult, who are also terrorists, who knows? Why do they choose red? Besides from her dress in the game, red is, yeah, pretty sure the red means something. But they're carrying whatever this coffin thing is through the desert, and they're heading toward some type of structure, in which I don't think we get a chance to see the entirety of it right here, because it's obviously like a bunch of things floating, and I'm pretty sure they're going to go somewhere into the air. I could be wrong, but it does seem like there's some light coming from the top, which could be something propelling itself into the air. which could make sense. Because if it just went down deeper, then what would be that light on top? Maybe it's just me. Similar to how you got all these guys walking a part of the same cult type of thing, the terrorist group. And I'm pretty sure far out into the distance, there could be a leader wearing red. I could be wrong. It could just be the lighting and the shadows and everything that does make an effect on colors. Because the one thing you're learning about coloring is, sometimes you need a different color to get the color you need. Sometimes for that certain tone of red, you need like a different tone of color entirely. When they're walking, they're traveling through the desert like it's Journey. And we see Fragile picks up Blue and looks at us. He's playing around with the baby up. And that's what he says. It gotta be like something like, it can't be 5 months. It can't. It gotta be like 9 to like a year and a half. But even then, it brings to a question. Sam and Blue went off on their own after the first game. After Sam refused to kill Blue, and turned out he found a way to keep her. Well, it turned out she came alive by herself. Can't remember exactly what happened, but Blue's alive. And instead of joining up with Fragile before he went out there for that long journey, he just went off on his own and left Bridges and everybody else. Notice we haven't seen any signs of Die Hard Man or a Dead Man, so would Guillermo del Toro be able to play this role? Who knows? He just got hot off the presses from the Pinocchio Netflix movie, so maybe he got the time, maybe he doesn't. But what how did Fragile end up with Blue? I can't give you an answer. It's just, if they're living together and cohabitating, that would be one thing. But it's just, Sam was pretty much just said he was done with it all, and he just went off on his own. And he wanted to do his own thing and live his own life the way he wants. So how does Fragile end up with Blue? Who knows? Nobody knows. Indeed. And which I didn't even recognize that the actress who does the voice and the face mocap for Fragile showed up in Spectre. I didn't even notice her. It was also in like No Time to Die with James Bond. I wasn't aware of this. And you see the green gene crasher, which could be the same one that was hanging off of Sam's backpack in the first game. It could be, on which I never understood why the dream catcher was there. It was never made a comment on, and it's just something that's there. And we see Fragile picks up Blue and concerned that the lights dims out. And this could be a purely they shutting off the power source and they're messing with the power and trying to turn off the TV, or it could be a simultaneous on the foot ground and BT attack. We knew that Cliff could control BTs, especially with the mask kids, but to what extent, who knows? We do know that BTs does affect people's skin and cause people to have irrational reaction to them, and it causes people to cry. But besides from that, it's just, we haven't seen Cliff like actually control the individual's BTs. So it had to be a bigger one, or they just shutting off the power source and just, I guess they're just shooting up the generator. Thought he just did get a pair of bolt colors and just snip, but apparently it could be a complex operation. And Fragile's concerned. And we see that they took the previous incubator of Blue and turned it into an aquarium for the killer allergy. And honestly, aside from Blue's age, we have no type of concept of how much time passed. Now somebody said, what do you mean? If the killer allergy and eating them stop all the effects of aging or slows it down, then technically, a long time could have passed. But then again, the whole Blue thing, just what they're also feeding it to the child's never gonna grow up. It's just multiple options. The lights continue to flicker. Fragile is holding Blue, and the power finally goes out. Now, I don't see what took us so long to react to this. This is not a normal occurrence here. Maybe they got some EMPs out there that just happens, and it's just, maybe you come back on. It could be a sunstorm weather type of thing, who knows. But the first thing I would want to do is immediately evacuation, or to get my weapon to lay down some heavy fire. And it says the Hideo Kojima game, and he's still preparing to take Blue on a journey, packing things up. And Fragile's frantic. The room lights are turned red, in which this could be the Fragile facility, and then it's just, or it just could be the new organizations out there in America. As she takes Blue, she tries to run to the hallway, run up the steps. We got the men coming down with the flashlights. And the interesting thing, which comes up after this, that she goes into the cargo transport. Now, in the first game, every time you deliver cargo to people, you put the cargo down, they get transferred somewhere else. Ironically here, she transferred herself back up to the top, where you'll usually see Sam, the holograms, and everything else. Which is, I found quite funny. At first, when I first saw it, I didn't notice it, but looking at it again and again, it's just like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Exactly. And she comes out. The guys are just, in which it would be interesting to see how they got in there in the first place, because every time Sam showed up in the first game, it was pretty much more secure than Guantanamo Bay out there. Just, you never saw anybody. Never saw anybody outside or something from the other porters, and it's just, this is how it was. But as Fragile escapes down the hallway to a garage, she rides an interesting looking motorcycle with the baby. And ironically, I understand why she wouldn't want to shoot anybody, but there's no type of stun weapon, so any further security. Or, ironically, or interestingly, what happened to her umbrella? Because she still had it at the end of first Death Stranding, and she could teleport with her dooms. She could do that, or something might have changed after the whole Evelyn thing. Things could be different. Look, I'm a little rusty here, but she hops into the motorcycle, which has just got one wheel on it, which really reminds me of the motorcycles from Men in Black 3. She blasts off on it. She's riding away. Now, the interesting thing about her riding away is, I question how they pull off this shot. Like, cause she's going like a few miles, and we don't see anybody directly behind her in a motorcycle. She gets hit in the arm, flies off with the baby, and Blue miraculously is still in one piece. Then we see somebody with a hood pull out the 9. Actually, ironically, he pulls out the 9mm, but it looks like it made out of plastic, like it's 3D printed. Or some might say fabricated. But with this man with the hood, I get to who it could be, but I think this is a different character for a specific reason. Because if it was who I think it was, then he would be fully aware that Fragile can't die. But we get into that stuff at the end of the trailer. And then, as y'all can see, I guess, because the gun should already be loaded, he wouldn't be sliding back the gun. But you hit the slide back of the gun, and we see the inside, which is believed to be Fragile. You might get a chance to play as Fragile in the game. Nothing's confirmed. Nothing is confirmed. But the baby doesn't open his eyes to get the thumbs up. The baby is just bleeding black from her eyes, like she's still in the water. Well, like the baby's still in the water. That same water that Sam coughs up after he comes back from the afterlife. And the baby cries that, and it's just post-mortem and everything. And now Fragile got the black liquid from her eyes. First time we've ever seen it like that, besides from Cliff's, where it's just leaking from the eyes like that. Usually Sam would cough some of that stuff up with some of the calories, and that'd be it. But in this case, it's coming from her eyes. We've never really seen that before. It's no similar to how you got ambers in the air and just like some type of grandiose explosion happened. Now, if she flipped the bike and the bike blew up, that's a safety hazard. Like, how does that happen? But it had to be a different scene of change. Because aside from the bullet wound, it says, what blew up that caused all this fire? And then when Fragile fell off the bike, she was holding Blue, and now she no longer has Blue. So let's just say the reason got the whole black thing, she got shot in her eye, she died. She's back again because of the dooms. So if it was the person you think it is, because the usual man who wears the hood, he would have known that Fragile would have had the dunes. So it brings to a better question of why even go after Fragile in the first place. If you're looking for the person responsible for destroying your fish calamity, extermination god, then or getting rid of her temporarily, then you go after Sam. Fragile wouldn't change anything if it was a vengeance type of thing. If it's something that you needed, then the baby's still right there. So it's just like, why do you need to track down Fragile specifically? Because you can't kill her. It doesn't seem that they do anything. And she go cross towards Blue. Because one moment Blue is moving, next moment Blue is dead. So, whether the baby just died because of smoke inhalation, or the baby just died of his own. Now, it could be a chance that the man pulled the 9mm to shoot the baby, but that I'm sorry, that's not funny. That's not funny. Wow, that's the first time that's happened on camera. But I don't know, cause like then the next shot, Fragile calling towards baby, and the baby's just still, and she collapsed over. For what reason specifically? I don't know, because there's no real bullet wounds, and it seems like she should be fine. And it shouldn't be that much smoke. And which, let's say they blew up the facility. She got shot, falls off the bike. You have to be packing some serious stuff to blow up that much and she was that far away. It's just interesting. And then it seemed like when I was in the room that knocked over the incubator, it was whatever. And that was happening, right? And it released a killer allergy from inside of it. But the most interesting thing we see here is that more than likely we're going to still have the baby mechanic from the first game, because it seemed like Blue is dead. And not only is she dead, she has come back as a DT and reformed back in the classic incubator, because now she has wings. Them same angel wings that was on the back of her shirt when Fragile was holding her. Why does she got those wings when nobody else died with any type of clothes? I don't know, but it's obviously got to be Blue, in my opinion. Now, why is she red instead of the usual gray? It could be the lights from inside the facility. That's why. But could there be a question? If there was something like that, then where the hell was Sam this entire time? And how did Fragile end up with Blue? Maybe hear somebody say, "Baby, don't worry, it's okay." Now, it could be a case that our mysterious man has snatched the baby. But if that was the case, then why not keep the incubator closed for that reason? And Blue just not be showing up there by herself inside that incubator. And then we see the new organization, Drawbridges. Well, actually, Drawbridge. Now, I do have a theory about what this organization is. We know the original Bridges' goal was to reconnect America. And it could be a case in this game, we're not going across America, we're going across the world to form the real final connections of the game. For two different reasons. One, what else we use a drawbridge for? You can just make bridges across America. It'll make sense that you need a drawbridge to go across a bigger landmass, instead of just your local bridge over a river or a bridge over anything else. And what else go through drawbridges? Boats. But it could be an international thing. That's what I believe it is. But who's behind it? Could be good old classic Dawheart Man. But there's no guarantee of it. And if it is to reconnect the world, then does everybody else have their own little facilities and doing their own thing? Or just like America's helping build everybody back up? Who knows? And then someone says someone should have to suffer such loss, on which it could be our boy Heartman, who's still hitting himself with that defibrillator. Could be him. I could be wrong, but it does sound like Heartman. And then we see Sam walking the steps from wherever he's from. Then someone said someone should have suffered such loss, and I meant it when I said I can understand how you feel. But if you hold on to the sadness, it will weigh you down like an anchor. And then as Sam come outside, something comes up for him. Of course, the Black Lagoon. The Black Lagoon, my goodness. And we see Sam and Fragile there as this entire ship comes up from the water and it clears itself off. Now, somebody say, if Sam walked across America, then what would be the point of this entire ship? We're going international, baby. Well, I was thinking, but we don't really see water in this water at all. I've yet to see it, now that I think about it. The only time you do see actual water is when Sam dies and you gotta go find his body. On which, is Blue is also a bridge baby? Wouldn't that also mean she has dunes? Like Sam and Fragile? Well, Fragile is a different case. I don't know how she got that. But Sam is confirmed to be a bridge baby, and he has dunes. Now, it doesn't mean to confirm that every bridge baby has dune by default. I haven't heard it anywhere, but I just suspected that, you know, they shoot the baby in this. Because it's Blue that went back there, or somebody else knew. But it had to be Blue, she got those same angel wings. That was a part of her shirt when she died. So it's just, who knows? But even this whole ship has drawbridges on it. Now this could be the organization that Fragile's with, and that whole Fragile Shipping Company and Bridges fused into a bigger thing for like an international type thing to go outside of America. It is possible. It is. Because unless you go on Interstellar, then there's no real point of a ship this big. And on the side of the ship, there's this emblem that says Magillan. It's like Maggellan. And it's, yeah, like they could. They did say OHV before that. Malignant? Could be the name of the ship. And the ship got a giant crane on it, and Fragile is there crying. And Fragile says, "Come with my crew, Sam," on which that more or less could confirm the whole drawbridges thing and how they fuse into one. But if that was the case, then what is the point of bridges at the current moment, aside from rebuilding America? And one comment is why does Sam have gray hair, but his face hasn't aged a day? I cannot give you an answer. The body looks the same, and it's just now it could be one of two things, right? It could be blonde hair, and it was some type of side effect of everything that happened to him, and he goes from brunette to blonde. Let's not say why. In the Metal Gear games, I should have sworn Raiden had like some gray or white hair, but that's supposed to be blonde. Similar to Orga, and Orga's daughter, Sunny, also has blonde hair, quote unquote. But again, we've seen blonde with Ocelot, but even then, that looks strange. And then ever since after Medic MGS3, hasn't really seen the same blonde. Even Colonel Vogan had blonde to a certain degree. But then again, Ava had blonde hair, and it actually looks like it's blonde. It could be that, or just Sam hair color has changed because of some extreme stress from losing blue. And they see once again not only Fragile's crying, but Sam is crying. It could just be affected the local BT chilling and telling. But Fragile tells Sam it's time for you to hit the road again, cause we're going international, baby, and start a new journey, she says. And you get the usual suspect, Norma Reedus, Seydoux, the French woman, Ellie Fanning. Nah, they can't. Nah, they gotta be somebody. They gotta be someone new. That's they're with the same one who played Mama and the sister, right? No. Shirley Kazuna and Tro Baker. And for the whole Troy part, someone says it wasn't the UCA or the United Counties of America. Nah, they gotta be something else. They gotta stamp something else. But it's obviously gotta be like something similar to America. Has to be. Who made the final decision? Because APEC, the private corporation. So remember that terrorist group I was mentioning earlier? So in this case, this could be APEC, which is they form inside of. That's what they complicated. We don't know where the game takes place, but we know Sam is in America. Blue and Fragile is in America. So let's say bridges in America evolve into the UCA. How does Apex shows up like they did in Godzilla, who are also an organization that uses red? Oh my goodness, that is not a reference to the Monsterverse. How does this organization shows up, influence the UCA to make these big time decisions, and nobody's properly informed, and as far as you know, nobody's attempting to fight back? But on to that mysterious man with the hood. I do not believe that is Cliff's, because the man we see here with the guitar dressed in red, singing his merry song, is obviously Cliff himself, who's winning a massive Evelyn. On which, why is this woman so prevalent? I don't know. Which brings me to some questions of why did he strain the guitar? His color quickly changed to orange. I didn't know I was getting frames of videos. It quickly changes to orange, and that's it. And then with the mask he's wearing, it's like he's closing his eyes on purpose, or the eyelids in the mask is closed and he can't see and he's blind, or he's seeing through the arm or some other type of way. But with this suit that he's in, and that's why I said I can't really remember if he died or not. I know he died. I can't remember if Fragile killed him or not. and whoever this man with the guitar is, who's obviously Cliff in my opinion, some of the robots in the background, their chests light up with the organs and the rib cage, and other ones don't. Why? Some can be cyborgs, some can be fully automatic, who knows. But these guys also have weapons, so it's just, who knows. And as he continues to play the guitar with the Evelyn mask, he attempts to take off the mask, and it cuts away, because we all know it's Troy Baker. You're not fooling nobody. Shit we have connected. On which, what could that mean? I don't know, because Kojima was talking a lot of stuff about the whole ropes and connections and sticks and fighting that whole thing, and it's just like, overall, it's just I just didn't get much of that from the first game. And then this could be Sam, which is more than likely is according to the tattoo on his wrist. I could be wrong. That does belong to Big Head on Instagram, Mr. No Maritas. I'm seeing the incubator thing. Some octopus tentacle shows up in the trailer. And another thing where I was when I first saw the trailer, was just like, great, once again we're doing the same shenanigans again, Kojima. You're doing all this stuff from the trailer, the game comes out, and there's this But the one comment says I want to show off the Kojima Production logos. If you ever seen the logo for Kojima Productions, Ludens, and then you look at Mr. Cliff's arms, his arms look exactly the same like the Kojima Production mascot Ludens, the exact same. The exact same with some slight augmentation, looks the exact same. But overall, Blue is dead. Fragile has potentially joined up with Bridges to create Drawbridge. Or Drawbridge could just be an independent thing. Or Drawbridge could be this whole thing where they're separated from the UCA, and those are original guys who are part of Bridges, because now Apex has taken over the UCA, and now it's those two going back and forth. So if it was Apex, then it means the man in red, dressed like the character from Journey, or Apex, and they're doing operations under the cover of quote-unquote America, and they're like a parasite, they're elites, they're infecting things, in which with that incubator with the octopus could mean that. But then again, we had a bunch of whale symbolism, and a bunch of whales show up in the first game, and what purpose did they serve? Who knows? Maybe I'm just the Cause like my whole thing is, there was a lot of things that was said where Matt Nicholson, he was like, I just, when I first heard it, I just didn't understand. And Norman Reedus, when I first heard it, I didn't understand. And then you see the game and the story is just like, this stuff ain't complicated. It's not complicated at all. It's just, it's not even a game where you can make theories about. It's just, it's all kind of just put out there for you. Hopefully this time we can actually have a Walkman or MP4 player or even an MP10 player to listen to. If you can't get the MP4s in the future, MP10 player, because you can do a lot of walking with no music besides for those specific reasons and points where it's like a story equivalent, and then like you get like a bunch of music in the game that you can't listen to unless you just sit down. I didn't put in the game not to do nothing and just sit and wait. Maybe it's a computer game, it can open a different window, but that's not what I have here. Just look at the soundtrack. But Apex, the UCA, which could just be the finally completed connected. I don't know. It has to be something American Pacific with the UCA, but yeah. And what connections does the UCA have with Don Bridges? Like I said before, it could be the UCA with Apex as the head of it versus Don Bridges, and their whole goal is to combat this terrorist organization that's trying to rather cause the calamity with Emily, I believe that was her name, or just because it's obviously a type of cult that worships Emily, but in what form or fashion, I cannot tell you, because it could just be a cult of worship, or it just could be something more where they're trying to actually do something, and maybe they're just trying to create their own sixth entity to finally finish the job, quote unquote. But it does bring into a question of who is the leader of Apex, or if Apex and this red group is different, then who are the leader of these guys? Because whoever they were had to bring Cliff back to life. Because I know he died. I can't confirm if he shot himself or with Fragile. I don't believe Fragile shot him. I can't remember that she did. I'm pretty sure she said something about how he killed himself, something like that. So if that was the case, then How is Cliff back to life? Now somebody say he could be a cyborg and it's just his brain and face. It's possible, but then he was left out there dying for a while. And somebody say, what about the Muse? The Muse are just a bunch of savages, and those other guys with Cliff, they just kind of just vanished. And since Emily was ahead of all of those groups, then when she's gone, it's just, why wait like months to months later to do something? Which is just they were rebuilding their forces. And then with the UCA, just there's a lot of things in politics going on in the background again that we get to see what they are. But more than likely, we could still be delivering patches. I really hope we don't have to deal with Blue. I didn't hate Blue, but she was just there. She didn't really serve a purpose. Someone said, what about for the BTs? You hop on the motorcycle and just drive right through. That's just it. I'm sorry. It's just, that part of the game is not fun. And arguably had more fun than using the guns, throwing packages at people. And cracking the Muse skulls wide open to the white meat. And the whole connectivity thing with the whole, well, everybody can do a thing, everybody serve a purpose. See, like they was building up the highway, you see multiple bridges and other things like that, but it would be fun to finally see other people, or as the delivering package, see the effect that you have on people, where you get to play a game, where you get to see somebody else talk to you, the hologram. Hopefully you get some more interaction with the people, where it feels like you're actually doing something, and not talking to a machine. Because no matter how much they can say this and that, and have different personalities, they don't see anything. There's no tapes. The gifts they give you are alright to a certain degree, I guess, and it's just like throughout the game you don't feel like you're actually making a difference. It's just a few good smiles, cha-ching, and that's it. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know. Will I buy the game? Actually, I can't buy the game. It's on PS5. Never mind. So well, that would be the first time something like this has happened. I report on a game I can't play, No More Heroes, or do my favorite time passing of the day. I get to sit at home and just watch it on screen, because I couldn't afford to play the game, or did not have the console. Tragic. It's in a way. I guess that's too bad for somebody. But overall, I think it was a solid trailer. It's just, I can't give you a legitimate reason why I'm making a video about this. The whole Cliff thing at the end is very interesting, but what does Emily have to do with anything? And also, if Cliff had some type of control over the BTs and certain ones of them, then why did he need the whole armed claw thing? What purpose did that serve if he can already control? And he had also, not the fact that Cliff also had the black watermarks, and just that was just more or less it. They didn't really go too deep into that character. He shows up a few times. I guess you can call it a boss fight, and then you 1v1 like you're liquid, snake, and then you knock him unconscious. He ended up killing himself, which I do believe he killed himself. I swear he did. I remember frequently that Fragile said she didn't do the job. I could be wrong on that. But who are these new people? Like Ellie Fanning and Shioli Kasuna? Before we wrap this up, I want to know who these people are, because one of them could be the sister of Mama from the first game, and the other, I don't know. Oh, it's her. It's an actress. I don't recognize her, but she is a prominent actor. And the other one, Shioli Kasune. Is another actress, and seems like she made a cameo in Deadpool too. No, wait. Because whether one or two things is whether they spelled the name wrong or this is a different person. that's a... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe there's some malfunctioning in my research here. We all know who the other guys are. The French woman, Norma Reedus, and the local Troy Baker. With some questionable appearance of Mr. Baker there. But, I guess it's welcome to the family, son. I gotta make sure. Cause I've never seen these people before. I'm pretty sure I've seen Ellen Fanning somewhere in the movie that I just didn't really recognize her afterwards. But Katsune, Kasuna. No, it was right. It was right. It's a Japanese Australian actress known for her role in Ren Mori. Oh, she was Yukiko inside Deadpool 2. So that's what that is. What role would she play with Miss Ellie Fanning? I don't know. Whatever I've been my thoughts and opinions about the whole thing and theories and everything else. Just what does the octopus have to? I remember I said it had the emblem on the side of the ship and the whole malignant thing. Now that could be an octopus with horns in its head as an emblem, or it could not be. So we could go from one aquatic animal to another one. First, it was the revenge of the whales. Now it would be the attack of the Kraken, son of the octopi. I'd buy that movie for $1. Cause those tentacle things are just nowhere. And then even with Troy Baker with the rib cage thing, it's rather those are one or two things inside the body. Those are intestines, or those are tentacles. Which one is up to you for to decide. But somebody say, oh, it gotta be intestines or something. Is it though? With that lighting and everything, there's no guarantee that it could be bigger indicators to PS5, better graphics and things like that. But we're looking through like a translucent type thing, which is not accurate, and the lighting is barely there. The bones are confirmed. Are those organs or intestines or a symbolism? Who knows? And water androids now? I can't give you why. Similar to why Clef has returned, I can't give you solid answers on that. And why is he playing the guitar like that one guy from Mad Max Fury Road? Who knows? And who was he singing to? Who knows? And also with those robots in the background, it could seem like their head is the whole arm thing. I used to pick up BTs to look like their head is that. Could be. It could be more action focused. It could just be more of the same. It could just be a better overall Death Stranding 1. Who knows? But it's quite obviously that's Cliff. So if that is Cliff and that's what he looks like, then to wrap this up, who's the person who shot Fragile? Who knows? Because they pulled up the 9mm, and if they did shoot Fragile, then what was the point of the explosion? What, they dragged her body closer to the base and blew it up? And then what was the point of going after Fragile in the first place? When it had something to do with drawbridges and the whole, it was an attempted coup and they're going to take it over. We're going to meet up with Die Hard Man and Dead Man. We're going to do this whole thing that we take over the world and then attack the UCA right at the core. And hit them good. We're going to make them hurt. Then I bring it to the question, what would the other environments look like? Because everything in... It's split up to 3 different distinct sections, but it's just... Anyway, it's up to you on that one. But who had the 9mm with laser sight, 45 caliber? Oh boy, that Terminator thing. But who knows? Let me got thoughts and opinions down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace. This has been me, MSWK.